Yanni Gourde signs with the Lightning for 6 years. So a lifetime extension for Yanni Gourde. At 33 years old, he signs a 6-year deal, which obviously they plan on, as the cap goes up, voiding years at the end, that he will be infirmed in a home. 6 years. We got some thoughts on that, so we'll get into it. So lots to get
33. To. He could play till he's 40.
Can he?
Probably not.
Can he?
Probably not.
With that small frame of his, coming off another injured season. He had 13 assists and 1 goal in the final 21 games. Said he took about 3 weeks to get his legs under him after he came right back from the hernia surgery. Mm-hmm. So I don't think last year was a very good representation of what he can give the Lightning. At least I hope not. Because I'll be honest, I was not for re-signing Yanni Gourde. I didn't think we saw enough, and I don't think he's. I'm looking for power forwards. I'm not looking for smallish effort type guys. We got a lot of those.
You need to be able to play against the Panthers. Can Yanni Gourde be effective against the Panthers?
I didn't see it. He had 1 assist in 5 games. Said he hurt his ring finger, and that really affected his play. So we have to take him at his word. I got to kind of take off my Lightning hat and listen. Julien Brisebois knows what the hell he's doing. Let's just be honest. He knows a hell of a lot more about the situation than I do, and he knows what he's doing, and I trust him implicitly. But just from my very untrained eye, I think what we saw was not enough to warrant an extension, and not necessarily what this team, I think, is looking for. But again, he knows a hell of a lot more than I do. Gourde's a very versatile player. He brings value. There's no question about that. He brings effort. He brings that type of tenacity that you need. And I think Julien Brisebois would probably be the first one to tell you what we saw last year is not representative of what he expects the rest of the way. So I'm going to, take him at his word that he knows exactly what's going on with Yanni, feels like he's going to be better and more prepared for the next season. And, and we'll ride with it. The 6 years, obviously, I'm joking about that. They don't, obviously plan on, he's not going to play for this team till 39 years old. I would expect maybe 4 years tops. 4 years tops.
Man, maybe.
Yeah. So again, there's a lot that goes into these contracts that I frankly just don't understand. These are the long ones that they offered Stamkos and Killorn that they clearly were not going to play till the end of, but it's a way to give them more total money in a package and keep them for the next few years. And, you're kind of buying out years now for future, which is what they should be doing. You have the core right now. You should be delaying everything as long as you can, as long as you possibly can. This is like a Tom Brady situation. Yeah. You have a Stanley Cup core winning team right now. You have that. You have the ability to do that. And people can argue with me because of the first round exits, but we've talked about the context of that. You lost to the Panthers, who are a freaking wagon. And look what they've done through the rest of the playoffs. Just obliterated everyone. The Lightning very well may be the second best team in the Eastern Conference. So, if you want to go blow that up, you're an idiot. You're become the New York Rangers. Okay? We're way smarter than that. We're way smarter than that. So, yes, this organization knows exactly what they're doing. I have all the faith in the world in Julien Brisebois. If he thinks Yanni Gourde is an important piece to the puzzle, then I'm going to say, yep, you know what you're doing. Now, there's other places I might not do that. I think at this point, as much as we believe in Eric Neander, there's been some decisions over the last few years where you got to raise an eyebrow and say, hey, I'm not on board with this. I'm not on board with this. Of course, and with the caveat, as we always do with Neander, okay, he's working with 2 hands tied behind his back. Can't add any significant salary. So when he goes out and makes trades and makes moves, 80% of the really good players in the league are off the board. You tried getting a return on investment without 80% of the league on the board, right? So, but that being said, it is what it is. I think we should be using that money to add power forwards, but again, he knows a hell of a lot more about it than I do. And Yanni, we've seen him be extremely effective. Coach Cooper loves him. JBB loves him. So what the hell do I know? It's like, I'm going to go with them before I go with my thoughts, just to be quite totally transparent and candid. They know what they're doing. We'll be fine. Yeah, and as James says, Yanni's coming off an injury. Okay, I can pop this up. Yeah. Yanni's coming off an injury. I think next season will be night and day better than Yanni. I think you're right. And I think more than that, I think that's what JBB and John Cooper think. And again, they're the ones that count. Know a hell of a lot better than me. All right, so this Wander Franco story that just popped up. Actually, it's from yesterday. Somebody just sent it to me. Hector Gomez is the man following the trial, and so he tweeted out yesterday. I'm going to see if I can find this. That basically Wander's, or I'm sorry, the father of the victim has yesterday in the pretrial motion or preliminary hearing basically recanted or removed his complaint, that he's withdrawing his complaint. Now, I don't pretend to know what the hell's going on in this judicial system. I just don't know. If something